Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to take a look at Cloudflare. Now if you don't know what Cloudflare is, it is a web infrastructure company and also focuses on security. Now let's take a look at the graphs. Now firstly, as you can see, we recently had death cross. Now many stocks have recently been performing quite poorly due to the political tensions, but as you can see right now, we are actually stabilizing a bit on our Cloudflare. As you can see, it has reversed back to an old support line here. So that is quite nice. Also one of the reasons I am highlighting it here today. Now, as you can see, it is trading here. Of course, as you can see, it is up a bit for the day. We did have a bit of a rebound from this bottom round here, and that is quite nice actually. As you can see, this support line has another support line right below it, where this one is more focused on the bottoms, and the current one we have is focused on the tops. So it is a support line pair, as I like to call it. Now, this is quite nice because this gives a bit more stability in the technical aspects, because chances are it's going to stay here for longer as we have both small tops and bottoms here. Now, if we take a look over a longer period of time, we can see Cloudflare has been performing quite nicely. It is up quite a bit over the past year and a half, up 150. It was up 150%. Now it has taken a bit of a tumble. Now, I don't mind it falling down a bit, to be honest, mainly because I don't own it yet, but also because once we have stocks that jump like this, we need sometimes that they fall down to stabilize. Now it did fall maybe a bit too much. As you can see, it fell about $60, which is quite insane, but I think it is due to the geopolitical tensions at the moment. Now, if you don't know what Cloudflare does, it protects websites and mails and also from DDoS security, and they have one of the most sophisticated defense types in the world, where everything is made by lava lamps. And what I mean by that is they have a wall with lava lamps where the code is read by the way the light shines off the lava lamps, which means the Cloudflare security is always changing because the encryption key changes permanently, which means that I think it's going to be quite nice once quantum computing gets a bit better, because some people have doubts that quantum computing can already break some security levels, but it won't be able to break Cloudflare as easy because it's going to be changing all the time. A reason I think this is going to be performing quite well in these later years. Now, if we take a look at the company itself, as you can see, 40 billion market cap, so it is a large, well-renowned company, so it's quite nice. It is trading on the Nasdaq. Now, as you can see, recently we did have very nice earnings, up 21%, and then 42%, 11%, and 5%. This is also the reason, as you can see, it went up so much, and then again, it jumped a lot on earnings. As you can see here, it had a huge leap up here from 140 all the way up to 164. So very nice. Now, as you can see quarterly here, it did have some poor months, as it didn't really make any money. But annually, it don't really make that much money yet. But the way that it works in many of these companies is that until they make money, they of course have very nice stocks, and as you can see, they are making more and more money, and they've reached the $1 billion point in revenue, and I think soon this quarter or the quarter next quarter they are gonna make actual money and not just minus money. Now, as you can see here, the seasonals, it's quite nice both in 23 and 24. Now, if we take a look over the longer time, it more often than not performs quite nicely. It has only been on the stock since 2019. So yeah, 2019 it was down 5%, but for a newly formed company, minus 5% is actually quite nice. Now, as you can see, also for 25 it is up 4%. But the other years, some years 300%, some 90 and 70. So quite nice, of course, for a relatively new company. That is also one of the reasons they don't actually make money yet each year. But as you can see, this earnings year, they did actually make money, which is quite nice. All right. Now, so the technicals here, as you can see, for the day it is a strong sell, and for the month it is a strong buy. Now, you might wonder why it is a strong buy here on the moving averages and a buy on the summary, even though we just had this huge fall down here. That is because it was over quite a long period of time, well, not long, but it was over a month, and it did hit some other support lines, which is as you can see here in the moving averages, it did hit some of the support levels from the moving averages here, so that is why it is still a buy in the moving averages. Now the oscillator, it is also a buy, which is quite nice at the moment. And as you can see down here in the RSI, we did trade quite aggressively up here in the upper portion of the RSI for quite a while. Barely down here at any point from all the way back from October, when we had this huge spike all the way up to 90. And then recently after this spike, it did trade, and we have been in the lower channel ever since. Now I do think once it regains some ground up here in the upper channel of the RSI for maybe a couple days or three, And once this gap between the 200-day and the 50-day moving averages gets a bit smaller, this gap right here, I think it is going to be a very nice opportunity to buy up as well if it can stabilize here. If it doesn't stabilize here, the next support point we have is a bit lower, is down here on 90, which of course is $20 down from where we are now. Or is it $30? Yeah, almost $30 down from where we are now. So of course, quite a bit of tumble. But it is what it is, and I think Cloudflare is a very nice company with this huge upside potential, mainly because any company that does work with them, they get faster internet because the faster internet, they get faster website protection because it can utilize some of Cloudflare servers. They have DDoS protection, and as I said, their encryption versus hackers is quite nice given their unique lava lamp situation. Now you can Google that if you want to see how it looks, but it is quite insane how it works. Now, the analyst's 1-year target is 25% up, as you can see here, 25%. We do have quite a lot of hold as the main target here, and some buy, 13 strong buy, 1 buy, 2 sell, and 3 strong sells. I think this is quite reasonable, to be honest, for the year. I can't really comment anything on that. I think it's quite reasonable, to be honest. I think this is going to be a big one. If you want to see a big jumper within the next 10-15 years, I would say Cloudflare is definitely a winner in my book. And I'm going to wait it out and see just how will they perform in the next couple of weeks before I buy up personally. But I do think it is a winner in the long term. Now, in the long term, once I buy this, I probably want to see it for about 5 to 10 years, gonna hold it and see if where it actually develops their technology is where I think it is. And I think within 10 years, I think this could easily be trading at 1,800 to 1,000 personally. So yeah, I like this stock quite a lot. Now, if you did like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.